Hi, boys and girls. All right, today we're gonna be learning how to add and subtract mixed numbers, okay? So remember the other day we talked about what a mixed number was when we were learning how to change an improper fraction to a mixed number. So you can always go back and review that video if you forget how to do that. But we are going to work on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So in some of the workbook pages you do today, there's going to be just adding and subtracting regular fractions, but some are going to be adding and subtracting mixed numbers. So remember, a mixed number is just a whole number like this mixed with a fraction. So it might be 2 1/3. That's how you would say it. All right. So if we have to add mixed numbers, I'll show you an example. So if we were adding, let's just say 4 2/7 plus 2 3/7. Okay, it's not as hard as it looks. So the first thing you always have to remember to do is you're going to add those whole numbers together first. Okay, so if you add 4 and 2, 4, 5, 6. And then you're just going to add your fractions. 2/7 plus 3/7. So we all remember that 2 plus 3, we just add the top, the numerators. 2 plus 3 is 5, and our denominator stays the same. Okay, and we can see that this is not improper, so we can just leave it as it is. Okay, so it would be adding those whole numbers first and then adding the fractions. All right, let's try a subtraction example. Okay, so if we were subtracting, it's just the same steps. So let's try 8 5/9 minus 5 2/9. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to look at those whole numbers first. So here's our whole numbers, and you're going to subtract those. 8 minus 5 is 3, and then you're just going to look at your fractions. 5 minus 2 is 3, and the 9 stays the same. All right. Some of you, actually one of you, noticed that sometimes, for example, if your answer winded up being 4/8 on the one worksheet where they had the answers, and you said, oh, but the answer says 1/2 and I have 4/8. So remember, 4/8 is the same thing as 1/2, right? 4 is half of 8. So we did talk about that when we were in school. We just might have forgot. All right. So just remember, when you're adding and subtracting mixed numbers, do the whole number first and then do the fraction. All right. If for some reason you do get an improper fraction, you can change it. So I'm going to show you what that would look like. All right. So if you had, let's say, 5 2/3 plus 4. Sorry, Shay's interrupting my lesson. Shay, shh. Plus, all right, hold on. I lost my train of thought. All right, so let's do 5 3/5 plus 4 4/5. Okay. All right. So you're going to, again, add the whole numbers. 5 plus 4 is 9. And then you're going to add the fractions. And let's see what happens when we add these fractions. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7/5. So 9 7/5. Okay, so we have our whole number, but we have an improper fraction here. 7/5. So what we have to do is we have to take that 7/5 and change it into a mixed number like we learned how to do the other day. So 7/5 is our improper fraction. As a mixed number, what would that look like? So we should remember that we're going to divide. And I'll write it right over here. All right, so you're just going to divide. 5 goes into 7 how many times? Once, which would be 5. Subtract, and you have a remainder. So it would be 1 whole. Your remainder's 2, and your denominator stays the same. All right, so now this is tricky. Look what's happening here. Okay, my answer was 9 7/5, but when I changed 7/5 into a mixed number, I got 1 2/5. So think about, what are we gonna do? 7/5 equals 1 2/5, but I still have my 9. So what I have to do now is just add this onto my 9. So I would just be adding 1 plus 9 is 10 2/5. All right, I know that's a lot of steps. If you're just practicing with your adding and subtracting mixed numbers and you get 9 7/5 and you change this and you kind of get, this is a little confusing, do the best you can trying to figure it out. If not, you can leave your answer like this. All right, okay, so you're going to be doing 3 workbook pages, I believe, 399, 400, and 401. So just like before, you're going to take a picture and upload them onto the slideshow. All right.